Hey, and welcome to this new live stream where we are going to check how to make an emoji extension for Chrome as a browser extension. So this is the third live stream related to that topic, and hopefully we will get something today. So let's start. What I'm going to do is going to start by showing what we have done previously and showing the codes that we are using. So here is the code, and here is that, let's say whatever we have here on top. What? That's too long. Okay. So for that emoji extension, it is happening when you click on Ctrl B, you will have those emojis. You will choose one and it will be shown here. And this is kind of inspired from the GitHub emoji stuff. And here it is. So right now what we have, it's just showing in one place. It's not moving up, and we just have that when we enable and disable the extension. And this is being added to that text area. What I would like to do right now is having a new page, an HTML page that has a text. Why do we have all emojis here? Yeah. So I would just like have a one with text area that is simple as that, to be able to test that code here instead of going to another page, which is yesterday caused me to publish two comments that I didn't want. So let's run this in the live server. Here we have that, and here when you click on Ctrl B, we see that something added but removed. So I think I could have this text area in another page, so I could try that with the clear view. And it would be great if you could tell us in the comments where you are watching from so we could get to know you. Let's say test page.html, and here we'll just have an HTML5, whatever it is, and I will have a text area. And yeah, so that's enough, I think, for me. And I could get back to that server, which should be localhost test page, should be .html. Okay, so it was port 5500. So this one. Okay, so here we have that. And when you click on Ctrl B, you see our extension. And when you click remove that, you could see the difference here. So yeah, so we could test that right now here, and we could get back. In the extension yesterday, when I get close those, I get stuck with the API, so I couldn't consume that API through the fetch in the website. And I did a small research and found out that you could do that in the background script. And to do that, you need to send the information to the background script so you will see what's going on. So for me, I think the other thing that we did was checking this to see if anything happening when you write on the text. Let me show you here when you write on the text area. So here you could see that. Let me. I think we could see something shown here somehow. Let me refresh this page. And go to console simple. Okay, so we don't have that code running right now. Not sure why. Maybe it's the version. But what about this page here? Let's see the console. Okay, that's code is running. It's not running on every. I just remember what I have done. So in the manifest, I have written this um, page explicitly, so I could run that code here, but I need to have that in all URLs, which I think this is something that related to Chrome, and that was suggested by Copilot itself. So let me refresh to double check that code. Here we have the second version, okay, which is the one that we updated. And let's see that here we could refresh the page. Yeah, okay, so the content script is running. So they have a different um yeah, so they have a different naming style for that. And to know what they are doing with this, we could go and check content scripts matches so we could see what does this provide. Where it is. And here we have the naming, we have whatever, and here they are showing what kind of stuff that we could use. But I was curious where they have something for match button, I think. Yeah, so here's the match button that we were checking yesterday. And in this match button, you will should see how that works and what stuff you have. And here they have special cases. Okay, that's what I wanted to have, which is the all URLs, file, localhost, whatever. And you have example buttons. Okay, that's cool. That would be more interesting to check. So I'm just sharing the links with you if you would like to see that. And let's get back to this page here. You could see that right now we have that value and you will see the last element as, let's run that. It should be the two dots and you will see that will write something as an emoji time in here. If it's not, it will not write anything. What I would like to see before moving to the code base again is, yeah, so I would like to check this event and would love to see event if it has any current target. So I was thinking that maybe we have something related to the cursor location inside that, but we don't have, which would be tricky to think about how to add that, but okay, I will check that later. So here we are, we have that content script working. And in that content script, let's get back to this. I would like to, here's content script, let's say fetch, okay, not here, here, if it's two dot, instead of, wait, instead of having emoji time, we could have still that, fetch the emojis based from the API. And let me see what would Copilot suggest. Okay, so it suggests to get that emoji from API as a fetch, which is like it wasn't working yesterday. And when I checked if I could check that fetch data from Chrome extension, they let me see if we have inside data scraper. No. Here we have forums, which is related to FreeCodeCamp. Um, and let's see what we have. API reference, fetch, we don't have anything there. Chrome web request. The Chrome web request API observe and analyze traffic to and to intercept, block, modify request in flight. So they are checking the request for whatever. But okay, so that's not what I would like to see. I saw this article on Medium yesterday, which is telling us that we could use the background script to fetch the data from the backend server and we could get what we want. So to do that, we could send a message to Chrome. And here why we have that And the background server, we get we could analyze that message and receive it, then fetch the stuff in that background server. So to try this, I would go with the basic simple stuff. So here, if it's emoji time, let me just have Chrome send message format document, and in that message, let's say it's type emoji, and which I don't need this URL stuff. Where does it finish? Here. And instead of that, let's just have, instead of URL, let's have query. So it will be emoji query as happy or smile, let's say. And here we are. We will need to get the response to see what we are having in that response. In the background, the suggestion is to write a code which is like we'll get the message and we'll get the listener so we could use it. And for that, we need to write it at the end. So here we go. Chrome runtime on message, add listener, message sender, sender response. Okay. So if the message type is emoji, we need to fetch the emoji stuff. And it should be, we could get that from Postman, which we tried yesterday. And Postman is a way that you could try and test your API with the data that you have, so you could run that and use it. So here, what we could do is, let me open that. Collections, I think I called it emoji. So it's emoji API. And here it is, emojis. And here we go. We could have search face and we could see what we are having here. And to get that code, we could click on the code area here and we will have that code that we want. So we could go and use it directly. Let's just go and get this fetch data here, and it should be get instead of post. And for headers, okay, what we could do is to have that code there, copy paste instead of doing what we are, but it would be much easier. So let's just go with this. I remove the auth, so we could get the code here without the auth right now. Why we have the cookies header? Okay, I don't know. So we could just get that, go back here, and we could fetch this, then response JSON, and the response will be sent. Just let me remove that here, put it on the top, format the document. So here we have the headers. Let's call it let headers. I don't need the cookie. Here is that stuff. I don't need those headers. The direct follow, fetch, request option. And here we have the response and we are converting it to JSON instead of that. And then when we get the result, we should send that to the content script. And if we have an error, we'll catch that error. And that's it. So here we get that listener for the message. And what we could do is to change that instead of face, we could have the message, not URL query we are getting. So we could get that information. So here we have this, and we are printing that stuff on console, so we could test that. And to just test what we are doing, I could go here, click on 3, check the Chrome extensions that we have. Let's refresh this, and here it is 3. And here I have that document, which is the test page. And why do I have that? Okay, so it's this here. Here's the test page, and here when you click on that, you could see that we have the test message, and when we get the information, it will be printed on console. So let's see. Error. Okay, that's worked. So right now they are asking for access key, which I need to add so I could get the information that I need, and it's getting the information from the API that we are having. So yeah, like if it doesn't work on your um page directly, you could run that script that you need to fetch data from the background. So let's move forward. Here we are getting that script, and we could show right now the code that we need on the page when this is working. So what we could do is get some of the code I have in the background and use that code somehow. So on action only click, I think I could convert all of this to here. Let me see. Yeah. So I could convert all of this to a function. Let's call it as function add get emoji, no, add emoji list. And here we have this, and this should be a sync function. And here we could, on installed, we could call this function, and we could call it, it's not on installed, it was on here, which we get the tab down, and let's have that tab, pass it here, and the other thing I could do is when we get this emoji here, I could parse that information here. But if we don't have a tab, why did we use that tab, by the way? Let me see. So we get the tab ID to change that. Hmm. So I think that tab could be in this sender information. So before going one step, I could console log sender, but it will not work. So I could send response sender. But how we are parsing that here, we are getting the response directly and we are parsing it. Okay, so I could do that here. So I could see the sender and I could get that tab information from it. And to check if it's working or not, let's just go with 4. Let's run the extension. Here, refresh it. It's 4. And I could refresh this one. Emoji time. Here we don't have that sender information. Why? So we have emoji time and we have that response, but we don't have the sender information. Content script, I think it should be in the background. Let's go to that sender. Or does it have, wait, response any? So let's do it as um, string, or let's just send the sender here. We don't need the result right now. I would just like to see what we have in that sender, and then I would like to check. Here we have Bish. Here we refresh this so we could get the latest stuff. And here we could get two dots. Okay, here we have that sender. So we have the ID, we have the tab as well. Okay, so as I guessed, we have the tab information and sender. And background here, send response. It should be result. And add emoji, it should be sender dot tab. And for that, let's see. We are getting the tab ID from that tab. Okay. And to do this in manifest, let's do 6 to double check. Extension, refresh at 6. Refresh this page. And here, I would expect that, um, let me see. So I would expect that page to show me here, but it doesn't. It's on. So it works. Okay. It worked when I clicked on that, but like it didn't work before it. Okay, it worked. Right now when I click this, I could see what we are having, and we could choose an emoji. What I would like to see is parsing. Let's just refresh. It's off. Here it's on. Clicking on, off, on, off. Okay. So this is the logic that we are having right now, which is not the best, but it's what I want. And the other thing I need to add here is here we are getting the emoji, we are getting the query. We could parse that query so we could get the information, but I need to let me just think. Oh, to go to background. Here I need to get that query, so it will be message.query instead of this. Message.query. But before going there, what I would like to see is so what I would like to get is from that content script. Let's go to that content script where it is here. So here we are having that as last element, and if nothing else after that, it will just be closed. But what I would like to see is to get that query after that and to get the information after it. So it shouldn't be the last element, but we could let me just go to GitHub to see how they are doing this. So if we go here, issues, new issue, and searching, but like if you click on space, it will be nothing. So, but if you, yeah, okay. So it's getting that text till the space. And here, what we could do is to write regex to find the latest two dots, right? Regex to find the latest two dots. I'm not sure how that regex should be, but let's say latest element is this, and let's say the latest are character, so it's not working. Let's see if we go to Control Enter and we will see the suggestion from GitHub Copilot, and it's not showing any suggestion. Okay, so let's just close that. Since it's not working, what I would like to get right now is when I write something on that text area, I would like to get the two dots. Right now we are checking if it's the latest element or not, which is fine for me till now. But then I would like to get the latest one and get that um, text after that. So we could ask ChatGPT and write a JavaScript code that get the latest two dots with the text after it. Uh, let's tell it to use regex. Could be a cool thing that we will get the string and you will have the last index of. Okay, and why I forget about that, which is something inside the string, and then you could get the information. But you could use as well as regex, which will get mm, this will get if it's match extracted is match, so they could get that as well. So I think I will stick to the last index of. So what we could do here is going back to this here, we could go and have value instead of having it as length or whatever. So we could get text area value dot last, uh, and it should be last index of. Why it didn't show me that? And here we could have that two dots, and then we could parse that information after this till whatever after it. So then check if it's not found in a string, we could get that information. But what I would like to do right now is getting that last two dots, and then I would like to get the text after that till that okay, so here it is, the text after that, which is like trimming the text from last index. It's getting a substring from last index till trim, and then it's returning last index. So let's get that here and see the result that we are having. We don't need a return right now, and let's have it. Okay, so let me just console log that, so to check what its latest element, and I don't need this here. If last index is not -1, which is the result that we are getting, we will see what we are having. To double check that it will work, so I will just go to manifest, have the .7, and get back to the code that we are having here. Here, refresh, and check if it's 7. It's not. Let's refresh that. Here, let's refresh this and see. Last index not defined. Okay, why? Let's go to the code, content script. Okay, so I called it as last element. I need to change that naming here. Let's refresh this here, here, here. Okay, so I did that text area value, and need to refresh this again. Where it is here, refresh that, and here, last index is not defined. Okay, I need to change the naming. Last element. Let's refresh this here, refresh that here. Let's go to the console. Here we are. Okay, so we are getting that last element of what we need. As you can see, we are getting that code always there. A simple thing that I could do is, if there are trimming, so I could split and get the first element always. So with this way, I will get just whatever text after that two dots, which is that would be the end. So here we are. We are getting always that last thing inside that. Uh, but let's see this. Here it's an empty space after that. It's 4 5, but if I go with empty space, it will still show that empty space. I could just double check if it's not an empty space or not. Or could I trim that as well? Let's go here, split trim. Let's refresh. Let's use that here, here. Yeah, so it's still getting that. Okay, I think till whatever I get here, it's fine for right now. So what we could do is get that um, as a query message here. Instead of having this, let's go here, and we could get that latest text as query. And what else we could do is go back to background. So right now we are getting something called query, which will be sent to our emoji search whenever we write that thing here. And it's getting the result, and we are sending that result back. What I could do here is when we add that emoji list, to check that query, I could add it to this input here. Let's have that as query. So I would just like to have a visual thing that I would see it here. And here we could add this as query, and down with add emoji list where it is. Here we could have query. And let's refresh the extension that we are having. Refresh this. So right now I would expect, and okay, we have that, but I should see query is not defined. Let's have a default value as empty. And the other thing we could do is refresh this page for check, and it's not working. What did we break? Let's go to content script. It's sending emoji, yeah. And here where we have this emoji list, so it will be when we are getting that emoji, we could, let me just remove this somehow right now. So when we get that type as emoji, we are getting. Okay, so I didn't send that here. So it will be get the message query. Let's refresh this one, refresh this. Here we have that, but it didn't work. Cannot read properties of undefined reading send message. Chrome runtime. Let's refresh that. What we do here, let's refresh this. The message port closed before response was received. What is this issue? Unchecked time last error. Okay. This issue is I'm using Vue.js. Okay, I got 18 point. That's cool. On message listener, some of them probably need to start returning promises. So, boom, boom, boom. Do we have anything on message? Not here. And let's remove. Here we have send message, but we don't have anything related to on message. Yeah, we just have this one. And he said, if you see extension causing this error, inspect closely with all message listeners. Some of them probably need to start returning promises. If message type return true, but I think this true is showing this as open always. I'm not sure about this error. Let's just go to this here, but before I will check that later. Here, let's refresh. So if we go with contribute will not work because emoji is not, the query is not defined. And here we could go to query. So either this or an empty state. Let's refresh that, refresh the extension, refresh that again, and click on this. It's still a query undefined. Okay. Let's go here and name it as query. If query is not defined, we will have it as an empty state. Let's refresh this here, refresh this, double check. It's still can't read property of null, removing query is not defined. Text area select all. I did fix that. Let me double check with that manifest approach. Let's go with 8. Here, let's refresh that. We have it as an 8. We have this test page. Port closed. Okay, I don't need that right now, but if we click on, okay, so it's still query undefined. Query script. Let's go to background. So it should be if query. Let's do a double check here. But it shouldn't. Oh, okay. I think I got what's going on, maybe. So if query, we could just define that here. And let's refresh this page and see the console. Encounter or can't read properties of undefined. Query is still undefined. Okay, so we need to define a query here. Let query equal empty stuff. Okay, I think this is because that function. Huh. I think I could pass query here and remove this. So right now this query is what we are getting from the top function, which is this one. Here the extension, refresh that, refresh this. We have another error, but let's just, yeah. So that's the query issue here, which is something that we are not having. And what other issue we have? This port issue we don't need right now. Let's go and check with this. So we have add message, we are sending the query. And inside that add message, we should get the message query, which should be HA, but we are still getting it undefined. Here, we should get that as latest. Chrome on send message as latest message. Query.latest message. So here we have message.query, but and we have that tab, but it seems that query is being empty. So Chrome scripting execute script query. Here they have that function code. I'm not sure how to do that right now. Let's say that we are getting this query as hello world. I would like to see if we are getting that hello world down there or not. Here we could refresh this, refresh that. Console, still have it as undefined. Chrome extension, input undefined. Let's go to where it is Chrome scripting docs. Usage files, then this script injected, target. Hmm. We have the results, handling them. function get title pass. Let's go to, what was it, func. Let's see. Okay, we have something called args here, which is arguments. Let's go and find them. You can, what is the issue here? Let's read that. Runtime functions. Scripting, you can specify a function that executed instead of a file. This function should be a function variable available to the current extension context. And we could send those args here. Okay, so what we could do is function query, which is what we want, and then at the end of this function we could set something called args query, which will get the query from what we are having here, hopefully. And then we will go to the manifest just for sanity check. Let's go do this 0, refresh this. Do I have anything else? No, just one. Here it is. Let's go to this test page. Let's have that. And we get an error. Here we have that as hello world. Yeah, it's working. And when we click on this, it will work. Let's refresh. It's working. And the other thing I need to do is to go content script, or its background, so I don't need that. So here I could just have the query whatever we are getting from the text. So hopefully it will be what we are hoping to get right now. Let's go refresh. Here it is. Okay, we are getting that, but we are getting it on and off because of the code logic that we are having, which is, it should be for that installed, but we are getting the text at least. Let me go and update that code to make it on off only for. So here we have add emoji list, and we are checking the previous state here. We retrieve that. We don't need that there, but we could do this here. And then we are setting that as next state, which we don't need it right now. The other thing we are doing is if next state is on, we are injecting the script. If next state is off, we are removing that script and we are executing that script then. So what I would like to do is to have that logic there, and this add emoji should only have that insert with the stuff here. Sorry. So this add emoji should only do the insert, and here we could go and have this as remove emoji list instead of add emoji. Let's go with async function remove emoji list. What we need for that is the tab. Yeah, so we just need the tab right now, and then we could just remove this here, and we could add that logic here. Here we have that add emoji list. Here we could have as remove emoji list with tab. I don't need anything else. Yeah. So right now this add emoji will do just work once, but it will have an issue of adding multiple lists every time we are having. Let me check the port closed. Let's refresh. Here we have that working. Yeah, as you can see right now, we only having that latest stuff, happy or smile. So we are just searching for this, and we could query this and update that search stuff for based on it. But the other thing I would like to see is to hide this area based on the text after that. So let's say um we should remove this if message type is remove, but let's go here, else if message type remove emoji, we need to remove that. So just let's make it remove emoji. And in content script here, we could have the logic for us. So if latest text index is larger than 0, it's not like that. Let me see. So what I could do is to check the text and the beginning of it to see the latest element, and if it has any other. So here we are getting the text value substring and that first text after that. But what I could do is, so we are getting the substring. So if that string, let me double check where it is. This one in content script. Let's go to here. So what I could do is to check if this is an array of multiple elements, and if it's an array of multiple elements, then I shouldn't show that pay that thing if it's available. If it's not, I will just like ignore it. So let's just go and see that as first. So we see that substring, and we could see that the string length is 2. Why? Because yeah, it's 1. But if I go with, yeah, I think this logic will work. What I could do is, so this is splitting. Hmm. Let's say last element, and let's split this by this and trim that. Or let's say, okay, let's trim it first, then split it, then check text array. If text array length is more than 1, we need to move forward. Otherwise, that we need to get let that as first element. So right now it will return if it's not. Let's go here. Yeah, so it will return if we have multiple stuff. If not, it will just move forward and show us the code. So as you can see right now, it's not writing anything else after iter. Let's check it again here, test, and here it's not showing anything after test. So we are moving forward and we are writing test again. The only thing I would like to see is if the text array is an empty state. Let me just go here and do a check for this one. And here we are getting that text array. Let's move one step forward and let's see that text array. And I would like to check if it's an empty state or not. So as if it's, let's go here. If this latest element text array index is more than one, so we return if latest element, or text array index first element is an empty state, so we will not need that case here. Let me see. Here we have that. Let's go forward. I don't need that. So we don't have anything, but it's text, it's showing. If it's not, it will not show. Okay, so right now we have that case. So what we could do is, if this is the case that we are having, we could send a query to remove emoji, and just that. So right now we are sending a message to remove emoji, and we need to handle that message when we are get it here. Remove emoji list, and this should remove this list if it's available. If unlisted item here, we could remove that if it's not available or it's undefined, so we will just move forward. And let's go try that again. Let's see. As for background, we could see that we have, yeah, so we have that add emoji and the query, and here we have the remove emoji, add in content script. I know that code right now it's not the best, but I will get back to that and do minor fixing later and see how we could improve that stuff here. Okay, so here we have that latest text stuff. Okay, let's refresh. Let's just double check this and refresh that. And here we don't see it there. Okay, here it is. Here you have that, but if you don't have anything, it will just be removed after. Otherwise, it will just show you the text that you are having at the end. So yeah, but why the remove is a bit late? Okay, I think I could understand because we are checking this element here. So I could always um so what I could do is remove this in case if the latest element is not um even if it didn't, even if it didn't enter this if statement here, I need to remove that, so I wouldn't have that latency that we are having there. What we could do is, here we are getting the last index of, if it's last index undefined or not zeros, we will enter that. Okay, I think, I'm not sure if it's that the case. Let's see here. Here we go here. Last index is okay, so it will enter right now. and it should remove that. It didn't remove it. So let's just try again. T. Here we are getting that text area. It is, let's move one step forward, and here it should be 2. So yeah, that's true. This is true. And this text area is 0. It's test. And let's see. It's false. But this should return as true, and we should, yeah, so it's sent as remove emoji, and it returned. But it didn't remove the emoji. I could do a workaround here since that background script didn't work. What we could do is get this script out of that here. Not sure why it didn't work, but we could get that script here, so we could run that again. Refresh this for just checking nothing is broken. So let's say here test, it worked. Let me run that. Right now we have the test, and if you do anything else, it shouldn't. It's again, it worked after a while. So here, let's go again. We don't need that. Here is this. It shouldn't show. We go to test. Showed. Then right now we should remove it. So text array. So the length is more than. So this is false. And here it's t. It's false, so it will not run in that. But if I write anything else, it should be length as 2. Yeah. And here we get that got element by ID. We should have, yeah, we have that element here. And we have unlisted items if this is there, so we could just remove it. But it wasn't removed. Do we have multiply elements? Oh, okay, I think, no, we don't have multiply elements. We have just one. Wait. Here we go. Here is the elements. We have one text area. Let me just close that here. And let me double check this. Yeah, we have multiple elements. So what's causing this issue here of having multiple elements is that I am adding it always and not checking if it's available or not, so that I could just update the stuff. So here for add emoji list, what I could do is query element select area. I could check if we have any of this Chrome extensions, and if we don't have if we have that, I would just like go to the input with, where it is here, the input with emoji search, and just like update that input instead of um creating that whole element again. So this could be like a thing I need to do here, so I could just improve that detection and the information of this data that we are getting. And yeah, so here we go. Just let me remove this. Yeah, as you can see right now, we have an extra one, and we have almost 4 behind that. Here we have just 1 because like the logic is running on. And yeah, so I think this what we need to work on tomorrow so we could just get that moving forward. And the other thing I need to do is enable this query search so we could get those data as what we do for this emoji list instead of having mm, instead of like having a static data. So if we enable this one, it will be almost it will be showing what we are having, but we still need to um, fix that multiply stuff to see them. And yeah, so I think that's what we need to get to do tomorrow, but or maybe I could do that right now because enabling this will just need to add the access key. So let me just like do that right now. So tomorrow we'll start with something else. I will just have a access key right now .js where I will write let access key equal. Let me just get that access key from my stuff, and here just give me a second. I will get that access key from the code that we are having somewhere here, here. Okay, here. No, what get yeah. So here we have that access key right now. I just let me add it there. So I think we have that access key. What I would like to do is to get this access key file, import access key file. So I'm importing that access key right now, and I could just go here and enable this stuff. I wait, why I am not being able to? Yeah, okay, I think because I have clicked on the wrong stuff. So here we have the search, and where it's at access key equal this. Here we have the access key, and here we have the request. So let's just try this right now, and then we should like I should convert this to an async function, and getting the data from here should uh, be used to pass to this add emoji so we could show those data based on that. So let's get back here. Let's just refresh this page, refresh this to double check. And here we could write test. We should see that we could get, I think something get broken. Let's just refresh that again here. Yeah, I think we broke something. Let me just go double check this, refresh errors. So we have an error here. Let's clear all of that, refresh it again, and let's remove that. Let's check. Can't import a statement outside a model. So this is the access key. I think I should have moved that to something like, um, yeah, I should have added an export statement for that. So let me just go back to that access key. Just give me a second. So I need to just export it. So I think this should solve the issue. I just added an export statement at the end of that access key. And let's just refresh this, clear all, get back to error, refresh this page. We still have the same issue. Um, let's see that again. Access key, which is the same. Okay, but cannot use a statement of outside. Hey, hey, Takanami, how are you? What kind of extension? Just give me a second. So for me, I just thought to build a Chrome extension from, let's go here, from scratch. I just wanted to test what I could see from. Then just okay. I will go back again to this later. So I just wanted to see how I could build something from scratch. So I checked the tutorial from Chrome and I decided to test to create a Chrome extension by myself, which will be adding. Let me just disable this one and I will show you. So basically, what I will do is adding this kind of model to every text area and every, as you can see here, the emoji model to every text area with the information beside it to every page that has a text area. So this is what I am working on it right now. So I found an API for the emoji stuff, but I want to have that access key written somewhere else so it will not be shown when I use that. And that's what I'm trying to do right now. And where I get till right now, so I will show you where it is. So I could just remove this code, which is the broken one, and remove this from the API. Thank you for that. And I'm going to refresh this here and here. As you can see right now, it's showing an off statement here, but when you click on, you will see that stuff and you could just add an emoji. And what I'm trying to enable is having that API so I could search. And the other thing that I did right now, which was having this. So right now I'm getting that text from the text area. But yeah, I have some small things that I need to improve here, which is related to having multiply. Yeah, as you can see, I have multiply lists. So I need to remove them and use one of them only when I'm using this. So that's where am I right now. And yeah, so let's get back to that Chrome extension background text access access another JS file. How to import JS5 to background in Chrome extension from the same folder. Okay, that's what I want. Good. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Um, so we need to add that type model to manifest, and this will solve our issue. Let's just try that. Where it is here, and here we have this. We have model, and for background, let me see. I could import that again. And going back to here, I need to where extensions refresh this and refresh this one. I think I used to get that error here. Okay, so I'm not getting that error. And let's refresh this one, see. Okay, I need to check that later. So here we are. Okay, so we are getting the emojis. And we are getting 200. Okay, so right now we are getting the emojis from the API. And what I would like, why we are getting those kind of emojis? Let me just remove this one. Let's say happy. And we have no result found. And let's say smile. We have just one. Okay, right now what I could do is, let's go back to the background script. We are getting the emojis and we are building our, where it is, here we are sending the emojis as response, and we are getting that as JSON. So what I could do is remove this to async, convert that, and here let's say let emojis equal fetch, and I could close that here, and here we could have await. So right now what I'm going to do is to just be able to get that, or wait, before converting this to async, I could get that stuff here, so I don't need to convert that. And here we are getting the result, and let's get emoji list, and here we are having the inner HTML. So what I could do right now is change those stuff to what I got instead of having a default state. So let's say, where is this function? So it's an add emojis. And here I could add that emoji list. And if it's, let me see. Yeah, so I could add that emoji list. If it's not available, I will do those. If it's available, it will not do them. It will have something specific for it. But we will face that issue when we are, since we are seeing multiple images, so we'll have something weird when we do that. But let's do it, and then we could fix the code later. So let's go with emojis, and here we could add emojis, message query, and here we have emojis. Oh, okay, we have add emojis as result, and then we could get back to this emojis and add it as an argument and add that here as emojis. And then what I could do is check. Yeah, I know the code is not the best right now, but I'm just going with, so here we have this, let default emojis equal this one. And here, if emojis, I need to not have all of that result, by the way. I need to have get only the first five emojis, otherwise it will be too much. So here we're having slicing that to just five, so I don't need to parse everything else. And here we are getting, and we are looping those emojis. I don't want to add that to, okay, that's cool, but I don't want to add that to default emoji list. Let's say let emoji list equal something empty. So here we have that. And right now what I could do is to check if we have anything in those emojis. So this will, okay, what I could do is have this outside default emojis and have it as well here. Yeah. And I would say if we have emojis, if we don't have any emojis, let's say it will be this one as default. Otherwise, the default should be the one that we need to loop for emojis. And then we should add that to the emoji list in our HTML here. Yeah. So I think this would be what I want to see right now. To just double check, I will go to manifest, have it as one, go to Chrome extension, refresh that. As since I am building this from scratch and using the basic stuff in Chrome without having any extra features or any extra libraries, so you could have this kind of work, extra work to do. But if you are using an extra libraries like the CRXJS, it will make stuff easier for you, which you will build the extension with yourself always. But I want to do this one in this way right now, or like in this first extension, for just simple reason, which is to understand the situation without using those extra libraries. And when you use them, you will appreciate them more. Let's go and try this again. Let me refresh this. I'm not sure. And it's test. We have the first four emojis, but it's not showing for us some reasons. Musical test tube. Okay. Why didn't add it here? Let me go fresh. Hello. No result found. But we still have that hello here. Okay, we are printing it here, but let me see that background script. Um, what I did here was just splitting this. I should even be able to see that code here, but you see that on, off, it's not working. Let me see what we have here as an error. Okay, so we have an error. Value is answer initializable. What does that mean? Let me clear that, refresh this. So we have nothing here. If we click on that, we could see the on, but so I'm just checking what is value answering as able here. Chrome extension. And I think I get that. So maybe we could, where it is. Here we have those arcs. Where are they? We have emojis here. So it's not getting it as what I could do is to go here and pass that if we have those emojis. Wait, or maybe because it's an empty state, I should define that. We refresh this, go back to this page, refresh that for checking. Yeah, it was because it's empty. Let me see here, we don't have any errors. So let's just try that again, test. And we don't see it. Let's see what's the error right now. Here's the extension. We don't have any error, but here, G. Okay, test. We are getting that here, but we can't see that stuff. Did we get an error here? We got some errors, which is extension context invalidated. I don't need that right now. Let's go again, refresh this for checking stuff. Hello. Okay. Hell, we have this emojis, but it's not being added. What error we have? The port error. I don't need that right now. We don't have any error here. Let's see. We are getting the emojis. And this used to work few minutes before doing that um, latest API change, let's say. What I could do is, if this is available, then I would mm, let's just make let emoji text equal whatever. So if it's available, I will add that to emoji text, and then I will pass that emoji text here, and here I will use that emoji text instead of emojis. And here we go. So to double check again, I will go to that here, make it as 2, refresh this, it's 2 right now, refresh this page, and it's refreshed. Let's go with this one. Okay. Here we see this, but we don't see anything injected to the page, which is weird. Let me just do go to background and add a debugger here. Refresh this page. Go to console, remove the stuff. Here we go. Okay, I don't have the debugger. Um, okay, I think I need to check that tomorrow and see what's wrong with it. Maybe the emoji text is the issue, or it's something else. I'm not sure about that. So I need to go to debug situation where here we could, let's just make it as an, yeah, so we don't have that anyway. Here, just for let emoji text equals something empty. Oh, by the way, the project is on GitHub. If anyone is interested in checking it or checking the code or whatever it is, so here you could see that I just shared it in the comments. Here we go. Let's just get back to that code and get it to work somehow. Then I could call it a day. Here we have that. Let's go with this. We have the test, but we don't see um this added. Why it's not working? And wait, just give me a second. Maybe because yeah, I think I get that. I get that. So here's the issue. I'm sending the result here in that add on message add listener. And when you send the result, it's kind of a return statement for whatever you are doing. So I just have a return statement before the code that I need to run, which is the issue that I'm facing and was just checking it and think about it like a couple of minutes ago. So to get to that, I need to just here we have those emoji text again to do whatever I wanted them to do. Let me see if I still have that on top. Okay, emojis, emoji text. So I think that's it there. And here I need to get that send response to the end. And then I should refresh just for checking this. I will go to 3 or 4, whatever it is, and refresh that to see the latest. Okay, here it is 4. Here, let's refresh that page. It's refreshed. Let's try that again. And it didn't work. So I think it's something else. We see here, we don't have that. Or we have undefined here. Let's refresh. Here we get test. Hello. And here we have that page. Happy. But we don't have that shown. So I need to check that. Here we get those results. That's first 5. I'm not even getting that results stuff. Yeah, so we are not getting even that result here. Let me just do this on top and refresh this page here, refresh that, test, test. Yeah, and we are getting the results right now. But I think there is something here that I need to check. If I throw a debugger, would that work? Let me refresh that. Okay, so we have that background, which is what I want. Let's do this. Yeah, here we have it. So we have the results as a lot of stuff. I don't need them. And here, let's get to this point. We get the first 5 elements, which is those. Okay, that's awesome. And then I could get inside. Oh, okay, we get an error. And that's error, it is telling us that makes sense. So we are getting error emoji is not defined. Emojis. Where are they? Let me go back to sources. Result emojis. Okay, so this is the error here. Let's refresh this. We have a debugger, so I could just ignore that right now. Refresh this page. And let me see. Happy. Result slice is not a function, cannot access that page. Let's just do this. Close that. Let's just try this. Okay, we get this result right now, but the access must be required, which is, I think we should click on that so we could run this. I should see a different way to do this later, but yeah. So here I think, let's say happy. We could see that we see those faces. Let's say sad, and something is changing. But again, I think we have where it is here. Yeah, we have multiply stuff that we could remove. So we could try again here. Okay. Yeah, here we have those angry stuff. But again, we still have multiply um, emojis that we could remove the stuff or check if it's available or not. If it's available, then I will just update it. If it's not, if it's available, I could remove it and then add it again or just update that so I could see it. So I think we could do this tomorrow. And I hope that you enjoyed the stream today and hopefully we'll see you in another stream. Before ending that stream, what I could do is going back here and all right, what we need to do tomorrow. So what we did today, we consumed that API solved by using the background script, and here we implemented this in that um, text input, let's say. Improve the UI, we will need to do that again. It's working. Integrate the extension to text area and have an event for listener. Okay, I think we did this yesterday. Done yesterday. Add support for input fields. I need to do that later. Add input event listener to work on page. But not in content script. I'm not sure about what I was thinking here. So today we got to that point. Tomorrow I need to improve the list and show it only when you and show only one list instead of multiple ones. So yeah, that's what we need to do tomorrow, and we will have another. We will see what we how far we will go for tomorrow. And thank you for watching this today, and hopefully we'll see you in another stream tomorrow. And enjoy your time. Have a great night.